This is Fan First Network.
Oh my God, Omar. What is going on with these Toronto sports teams?
At this point, we're cursed, I think. I mean, like, the Leafs obviously will lose in the first round. Mar loses in the first round, and now PWHL Toronto, they blow a 2-0 series lead. So, at this point, I mean, I feel like when it comes to Toronto hockey, we're kind of cursed. I mean, so yeah, it sucks. It sucks for sure.
They played well tonight. They looked like they were gonna win. It has to be the city, man. It just got to be the city.
I mean, like when it comes down to this series in particular, like the main thing that took place, like game one, they win 4-0. It's not even close. Like we have them in the box, it's done. Yeah. And game two, Minnesota adjusts to the point where it takes Jesse Compher scoring a goal in like the final 3 minutes to win, yes. And we don't adjust at all. You know, Minnesota, they lock it down, they keep us to the perimeter, and we kept doing the same thing. And we just didn't, try to change styles or anything, and couldn't score a power play goal, couldn't score a goal, a 5-on-5, until tonight's game with Leslie scoring. So it's just, it's disappointing because you see what they've done all year, all season, and they have the firepower, they have the depth. And I know a lot of people will say oh, Natalie Spooner got injured, and yeah, that's significant. But at the same time, the team itself is pretty deep, and it just seems like they couldn't change the system. They couldn't change the gameplay to try to beat Rooney. And congrats to Minnesota. I mean, Minnesota, they played a great series in that regard. But it's just it's just so unfortunate because they had such a odd start to the season, and then they just took off, took control of the league, and they just couldn't get it done in the playoffs. So that's unfortunate.
You made a good point there. After the end of game one, we basically watched the same game 4 times in a row. There were no adjustments on the Toronto end whatsoever at all.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and again, when you look at game two, I mean, they didn't get a goal until late into the third, and they get the empty netter. Game three, they got nothing. Game four, it took to overtime, but still a low-scoring game. And then even in this game, we have another first period where they don't score a goal. Minnesota scores first, we score afterwards, and then at that point, nothing. And even when, again, they pull Campbell, they're trying to get more offense. Again, they're just doing the same thing, trying to dump and chase. Sometimes they win the race, sometimes they don't. And again, just not getting to the middle of the ice. And I think Minnesota did a better job doing that. Taylor Heise, I think, has had an incredible season. And it's good to see her, get the game winner. But it's just that lack of adjustment is just, that's what stings for me. Because again, if you're a Toronto hockey fan, not adjusting in the playoffs is kind of a thing that we do. So seeing that happen on the PWHL is really unfortunate.
Yeah, and you're exactly right. That was just we watched the Leafs not make enough adjustments against Boston, and unfortunately we see the Toronto PWHL team do the same thing. So we kind of talked a little bit about where this fell apart. Yeah. Do you think the Natalie Spooner injury was actually the big nail in our coffin?
I mean, to an extent, yes, Natalie Spooner was the team's MVP 100%. I mean, 20 goals, that's significant. But again, we're still talking about a team that has Blair Turnbull, Emma Malte, Sarah Nurse, Jesse Compher, who's putting in goals as well. So, we had the scoring. It just, the scoring didn't show up. And if you're a Leafs fan, that's where it kind of stings. And it's that kind of hits a little too close to home because we kind of seen that same story go on. And so it's yeah, Natalie Spooner getting injured is significant for sure, but I feel like we had the supporting cast to get it done. We had the goaltending to get it done. Campbell was fantastic all series long. I think she gave us the goaltending to win. But at the end of the day, you have to score goals, and we just didn't do it.
No, we didn't. All right, let's switch gears. Let's do one last positive thing here. Yeah. Just give me your thoughts on the season, the overall everything about it.
Yeah, I think overall, as far as an inaugural season, it was fantastic. I mean, I met me and Sabrina. I had the opportunity to go to a lot of the games, and I think, the atmosphere there and the excitement, and I think the buzz and the positivity was fantastic. And I think when you go to, that one game they had at Scotiabank Arena, where it was, Montreal versus Toronto, I think it was electric. It was awesome. And even when you look at these playoff games, I think every single game being sold out was significant, was awesome. So, I'm looking forward to next year and hopefully maybe the games being played here. I think that would be cool. But I think overall, what this season showed is that the city of Toronto is ready for women's hockey, and we're embracing it, and we're ready for it, and we're excited for it. I mean, I think if you look around, like there is everyone walking around with like PWHL Toronto merch. So the city's ready for it, and I hope that the league just continues to embrace it, because I think the team itself was able to do a special thing, even though they weren't able to make it to the Cup final.
You're absolutely right. At the very least, this was positive overall.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, again, I think they leave you wanting more, and I think you kind of envision that Cup final and what that could look like. But overall, as far as what you wanted to accomplish for a league and for the team, I think they nailed it on the head. So I'm happy for them in that regard.
Well, I guess hockey, we will wait until October now.
Yeah, absolutely. Leafs, Marlies, and now PWHL Toronto. We'll see you in October.
Oh, God. All right. Appreciate it, man. Thanks, Omar. Make sure you guys are following Tic Tac TOmar. Absolute legend.
This is Fan First Network.